morning, it's Kayla.
For the next 5 days, I will be getting my life together for the upcoming academic year. Feel free to follow along with me, whether you need to get your life together for school or for life in general. The first step to getting your life together, according to Kayla Nicholson, which is one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, and I'll link her down below, is to write down and plan out everything you want to do in order to feel like you have your life together and work on those things. So for me, some of the things that I need to do to feel like I have my life together is to declutter my room so I can know what I'm bringing to college and what I want to sell, and that will be tomorrow's video. Set systems for myself to ensure that I can be productive while online learning and developing good habits before school starts. And each of these topics is going to be a different video for this upcoming week. So if you're interested in learning about everything I'm going to be doing this upcoming week, then make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button to know when I upload a new video. I know that this semester is going to be a lot more different than usual, so I wanted to prepare myself by creating my monthly setup in order to write down any important dates that may come up. Also, me writing everything down is going to help me feel like I'm slowly getting my life together, since I have a lot of things I need to do before I move out of my house and into my apartment. So I have to plan everything that I'm going to do before I go. For this month's theme, I decided to show some school spirit and make it based off of my school. So if you don't know, I am a junior at UNC Chapel Hill, and we are the Tar Heels, but also at the same time the Rams, so I'm a little bit confused. But anyways, I'm starting off by drawing a well, and this is our old well, and it's a very famous, I guess, landmark of our school. And I actually got inspiration from a sticker. I will link down in the comments the link to the sticker, so obviously, like, I'm not stealing this design at all and saying it's mine. This is from a sticker that I saw on Redbubble. After I'm drawing out the well, I'm also writing the word August and the number 2020 on the same page, and I tried to use a Carolina blue color, but honestly, we have like 50 different shades of Carolina blue, and I'm not really sure which one is the right one. It's kind of like how you have a lot of black clothes, but then like not all of them are the same shade. It's like that. And then I am erasing everything as you see here. For the top part of the well, I went in with the gray blue, I don't know what you call it, like I call it musty blue, I don't know why, but I'm going in with that color for the top part. And then overall, there's not much color happening in this drawing, and then I am just coloring in the well to the best of my ability. I decided to color the back part a darker gray to give it a little bit of depth. Also, again, I was inspired by the sticker that I saw on Redbubble. Also, pro tip, if you're coloring in something larger, use a bigger tip. So at the bottom, I'm writing in Rah Rah Carolina because that's in our alma mater, and I just think it's really cute, and it's one of my favorite sayings at Chapel Hill. So as you can see, I started sketching out a monthly calendar for August, and instead of doing a 2-page spread that I normally do, or a traditional vertical monthly log, I decided to do something a little bit different. I was kind of inspired by my friend Anthony at Obsessive Stationery. In one of the bullet journal breakdown episodes that he did, he made an assignment tracker, and it was essentially just a very small calendar, and then he left space at the side so he could write, but instead I left space at the bottom. And what you do is you have a color code, and then you make a dot for whatever day that there's a thing, and then in the bottom you write down what is happening or what that dot meant. This way you're not trying to cram in a bunch of handwriting in tiny boxes, and you get to save a little space. After going through and numbering all the boxes, I then decided I wanted to split up the blank section in order to categorize my future events better. I decided to split it up into social, school, and other. In social, I'll put things like events events, although I don't know if there are going to be many events happening this year. School, which is for assignments and school-related dates. And then the last thing is other, and in other, I'm going to put in work or YouTube things. I do plan to upload a lot of college vlogs, so if you're interested in seeing those, hit subscribe. So if you watched my last month's plan with me, you will know that I made this monthly dashboard thing where I included my goals of the month, my word of the month, and a quote of the month. At first, I was a little bit stumped on what my word of the month should be, so I just moved on to my quote of the month. And since we're going back to school, I decided to pick a quote about education. Also, I want to be a teacher and work in education, so this is a perfect moment to tie in one of my passions. And I decided on the quote, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." And this was by Nelson Mandela, and I just think it's really powerful. And even though we may not necessarily like the education that we are receiving all the time, it's still something really powerful that, can change the world. My word of the month is going to be conquer. I feel like this is such like a strong and powerful word. Like I can conquer all my assignments, I can conquer work study, and it's just a very powerful, strong vibe that totally gets me hyped for school. And then I decided to leave my goals of the month empty just because as of right now, I'm not exactly sure what I want my goals to be yet, aside from like study and like work hard. I'll come back to that later when inspiration strikes me. And in the bottom left, I drew a Ramses, which is our mascot, cheering on a hypothetical imaginary crowd / myself. And I found an image of this on Google, and I was really proud of myself for drawing this because this is usually something very much out of my comfort zone. So I'm starting to set up my first weekly, and since I know that the first week I will just be settling into my apartment, I won't really be doing much. And also at this point, school hadn't started yet, so I didn't really need to take up a whole 2 pages for this spread. And then after alternating the colors, I realized that I didn't really like the way that the left page looked too much. And so then I went back with the darker blue, and then I went over all of the boxes and the headers to separate everything out a little bit more and create more contrast. So this weekly setup is a little wonky because I didn't start it on a Sunday or on a Monday, but it ended up working out. I just went over top and wrote everything with a white gel pen. Normally I only write out the first 3 letters of the day of the week, but I decided to write the whole day this time. The last spread I'm making is a weekly schedule. On the left hand side, I'm going to be putting down the time of a regular day, and across the top I'm going to be putting in the days of the week. And in this spread, I plan to put in my work study schedule as well as my editing time and my wake up time and my classes, except I have to wait for more information about my classes to find out if they're synchronous or asynchronous and stuff like that. So that's why it's mainly empty. On the top, I wrote down fall 2020 schedule just so for future reference I can know exactly what it is that I'm looking at. And I decided to draw this diamond argyle, I think that's what it's called, pattern on the top to act as part of the header / divider. And this pattern is on a lot of the Carolina athletics websites and jerseys and things like that, so I just thought it'd be a nice touch. And here is the final flip through. Let me know down below what you plan to do in order to get your life together, and I will see you tomorrow for a decluttering video. Bye!